Hello, welcome you pubis bums to DROD RPG. We're a little bit of the way in because I managed to muck up the start of this record, but you've not missed much. So quick lowdown. It's a top-down puzzle dungeon crawler with a stat-based attack system. There we go. That's all that you've missed, apart from me having to already restart once. That was something else you missed, but that was my own fault. Not a game glitch before anyone thinks that. And why would you think that? That's only what normally happens every single time. Okay, so unlock this path, if I remember correctly, and we have to go around here to get a moving platform. Oh, you missed my hand puns here. Oh, and they were good puns. They were good puns indeed as well. But no. Nope, nope, and nope. Die, cockroach. Or I die, one of the two. Well, if I'm not got enough health to get past him, then I'm pretty fucked.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Yes. I need to find health somewhere, don't I? Right, where around here could there be... there's health there, but I don't think I have to get past him. There's another shoppy guy there. Let's go for it.
Two tunnels are lined up in the same room. You may travel from one to the other.
Wow. More puzzles. Ooh, what's that? That's a rare root. Uh-oh. Still pretty screwed. Alright, let's go for it. Ooh! Yeah. What the hell is that? Okay, it grows. Is it growing for me killing things, or is it growing for me moving? I think it must have been killing, because it only did sort of grow twice there, didn't it? Otherwise, I might be going a bit mental. A bit mental. Well, it's not really much.
Even the weakest stalwart mind knows how to get the job done. A strong mind like mine, however.
Eliminates the job completely. Woo. Well, I don't think there's much else left to do. Let's try and get to the finish. Even though it's not that way, but it'll probably be around this way somewhere. Oh. No, no, no.
Time when I tamed a vicious dungeon room. Hey, little buddy, what are you doing here? Ow! But I subdued it in the end. Hey, Ronchi, come back.
Okay. So I guess love story about a man and his roach. That's roaches in the insect, not as in the alternative to a filter, young children. One of them is an acceptable pet, one of them isn't. Ask your parents which is which. Alright, so... puts lights on and off. Right, not sure what that is actually for. But let's kill this cockroach. Now if we stand on that again. Ah, right. So you can move diagonally, but it's not actually possible to move diagonally with the D-pad, which is interesting. Interesting choice. I say choice, more like probably oversight, but what have I got then? Gold key and a green. Oh yeah. I remember where I've got to go. I don't have memory problems. What are you talking about? Who are you? Why not? We're nearly at the end of the dungeon. Might as well get our rep up, as that's probably going to be the thing that's hopefully we can sell. Yay! Rule 3, Valor! The stalwart army is an order with a code. Our code involves rules such as exhibiting courage and valor. Fortunately, I'm the courageous sort. The sort that will fight anything, no matter how outclassed I may be. I think it just adds to my charm. Okay, let's start us off with a nice little bit of mouth. Always helpful.
Ugh, that smell. What is this vile goop?
You can honestly say you've never seen mud before. How lucky of you. Mud can only be damaged by hacking at its corners.
Well, we'll just have to see about that, won't we? Attack!
So, the rounded thing, which is the muck, or is it the... Yeah, it must be this thing. We can only attack it by attacking the corners. 1, 2, do the middle. No. No luck there, but let's see. Are you hiding anything more behind here? You devious game. Jam. More jam dead. No. Not hiding anything behind there.
You were right. Honesty is a quality I admire.
Yeah, I still think you're trying to chat this guy
Ah,
out.
you managed to find a shield. I'm impressed. Not everyone's so well prepared.
You came in with a shield.
He's always prepared.
Bloody moron. Charge! For England! We are the Queen! Bump characters to talk to them. Alright. Charge!
You should beware the evil eye. If you step directly in front of it, it'll bite you.
With what? It's just an eye.
Metaphysics won't make it hurt less. Fortunately for you, it's vulnerable in the back. If you can, attack it from there. You'll get in a hit before it can turn around.
Or, same principle it seems from the side. Still not really found out what rep's for. I'm awfully disappointed there isn't actually anything that rep is spent on. Because I've been taking the risk to kill a few more enemies than I should probably be killing. Nope, nothing behind that one either. Well, so far this mod's been a bit boring, isn't it? Taking up more space than it should have with absolutely nothing. And I should repeat that, nothing put behind it. 1 second, bear with me. Space than it should have with absolutely nothing. And I should repeat that, nothing put behind it. 1 second, bear with me. Alright, sorry for that. Let's keep delving into the dungeons. So which way are we going? That way, that way, that way. What we got? We have got a gold key. Alright, let's use the golden key. I keep bloody well going back to WASD. There's a reason I like WASD over arrow keys and mouse, and it's a bit more extra arm space for me, whereas my mouse is to the right of my keyboard, and that squishes my arms a bit more to the left, where the buttons are a bit more accessible. Be nice. Maybe I should look at the old key bindings before starting. Could do with a more powerful weapon by this stage, couldn't we? What does that do? Oh, I see probably what the cockroach is used for now.
There you go, Rochi.
Ah.
I got you, Rochi.
Follows you around. Alright. I'm not quite sure what that's useful for. I know I was like, oh yeah, but no, not a little clue on that one. Once north, twice west. Wasn't that? Getting a bit of a deja vu moment from that. What do we need to get into there? A green key. We don't have a green key. No, got a gold one. What is it? Is it another power gem? Yep. Sort of thing we'll kill eyes for, and then we'll. Whee! Suppose I should really look into whether that is doing more or less damage, or whether actually going into them face first or anything like that makes any sort of difference. Oh, that was cheeky of the mud to be hiding. Oh, there you go. That was I was complaining there wasn't an eventful use for the slimes, and there was one. I stand corrected. Oh, these guys seem to have tunnels under them. Where does that lead? Ah. Ooh, hidden room. Ooh, money. Alright, let's get everything we can. So, gem. That looks like a map. The brain makes enemies in room twice as strong. Defeat it first. A friend. The brain, mate. So, what's the brain? It's a muddy baby. Ah, and that's okay. Alright.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Alright, didn't actually mean to attack him. Let's try and get past him without attacking him this time. There we go. Oh, stupid me. Silly, silly cougar. Alright, let's point our sword away from him this time. So we go like that. Oh, and I need a gold key to do it, and I don't have a gold key, but there's 2 health potions in there, so yeah, you're gonna be twice as strong, but you should pay for yourself. Let's go another go. Yeah, another one bites at us, and another one down, and another one down. Another power gem. And what else are we gonna get? Got no spare gold keys to go that way, have I? Nope. So let's make our way around again. Oof! Ah! Ooh! Yeah, we don't need to attack you, Mr. Red Blobby Blob. Holla. I find it interesting they gave the tip about the eye, and it doesn't seem to have a follow-up to it. So let's go around and let's see what we can find. Got a green key yet? No.
There you go, Rochi. I got you, Rochi.
Can Rochi not
There you
stay
go, Rochi.
put?
I got you, Rochi.
No, apparently not. Rochi doesn't want to stay put. Alright, so... Where have we not been? Can't go through either of those because they've got arrows, which mean... Nope. Ah, there we go.
Pass.
Why not?
Orders from the Empire.
Empire's meddling here too?
The Empire's grand design is coming to fruition.
Well, this is what I think of your empire.
Okay. You're gonna give me all that health before attacking him. Yay! We did a boss fight. Woo! Defeated the Grey Man. Or Greyman. I thought, isn't Grey with an E? Am I doubting myself there? No, I don't have what it takes. Alright, let's keep going. It just flashed up 41% on the top for some reason. Maybe it has a counter of how many things you can get. Alright, what's this way? More spiders and gold key. And I can get fast. I need the green key, so
Hello, and today we're looking at DROD RPG. So what is it? It's a top-down dungeon game based around puzzle solving, and the fight system is stat-based. So you move around from tile to tile, either avoiding or fighting enemies, and this seems to be based around risk versus opportunity. But the game I found didn't end up like this, and instead it became a memory game about which way to go and what you needed to fight, rather than about taking risks and whether you wanted to maybe fight some things and have lower HP but to risk more for the attack buffs, which is what I was hoping the game sort of came into, but it just seemed to follow a much more linear line than that. And in the end, for me, the game really did become more of a memory puzzle. So when you start the level, you have to remember which things you have to fight and which things you can afford to fight to get the things that you want, and to fight the least amount of things. But this doesn't sort of make sense to me, because as you go around the maps, you'll notice that coming off from the corridors, there's those little rooms that have one thing defending it with things in there. And I was thinking like, oh, okay, well, I'd risk earlier health to try and get more of the attack buff, so later in the game things are going to attack me less, so the difficulty arc of the game I would keep up with better. But I found this wasn't actually even really an option, and all I had to do was learn the things that I could or couldn't fight, with the theory of, oh, I'll go back afterwards and fight them again, but as the arrows block you from going back, this isn't possible. So for a game that has a great theory behind it about the risk and the opportunity, is really let down by this for me, and the game does become a lot more of a linear memory path. The other core part of the game is the puzzle element. The puzzles are based around platforms, keys, hitting switches, but there was none that was really challenging me. Most of them seemed to be singular screen or just involved trying to get to this bit to switch this puzzle and get back. There didn't seem to be much thought put into ways of challenging it, ways you can do wrong, maybe misdeceiving or anything along those lines that would have made the puzzles just have a little extra edge to them. The game is developed by Caravel Games, and it's the first game they've brought us on Steam, so nothing to compare it against. As for the graphics of the game and the background sounds, they're very adequate. They seem very sort of 15-20 years ago, but for a game that is purely tactics based, where you're moving around the board and the importance is the squares you're moving to, the good thing about the graphics is it's very, very clear about what's on what square and what you can move to, what's not a safe area. And for that, for me, the graphics work. But for yourself, have a look at the screenshots, have a look at this video, and if the graphics are what you like them to be, then give it a good merry old go. The controls are a mix between mouse and keyboard. You can move around with the arrow keys, and you can also move around by clicking with the mouse. The mouse right click also has a function where it tells you the stats of the enemies that you're fighting, and that's a very useful function. What does seem a little bit unusual to me is moving diagonally is a key component of the game, but it does seem only possible to do that with a mouse, because with the arrow keys, if you press up and right at the same time, it will try and move right and up or up and right rather than diagonally like you want it to. So this does seem to be a weird game choice for me. Also, using the arrow keys rather than WASD is a lot less comfortable for me to play, and seems a very weird decision. With my mouse being to the right of my keyboard and wanting to hold the mouse with my right and control with my left, it's a lot more comfortable position, almost sort of shoulders width apart, to be using the WASD and the mouse. When using the arrow keys, having to sort of bring the arms together a bit more does create a little bit less of a comfortable playing situation for me. And for a game like this, where I could easily sink in a couple of hours at a time, I would rather be in the more comfortable position. So the right click that I was talking about, this will bring up the stats for your enemies, and the reason why this is important is that you've got so much health of the enemies, and you need to basically make sure that you can get through things if you're going to be attacking them anyway, and you need to know what's coming up in the path, so whether you can fight that and get what's behind it, or whether you need to go on a bit to get some more health and double back with the game. So the right click is very important and a very, very useful tool. It would have been very tempting probably for them to do this game as almost a second memory game, that you have to remember that the spiders do this much damage, the golems do this much damage, and so forth. but with the right click there, it's not spoon feeding me, I felt, but I felt that it got rid of a level of difficulty that the game just didn't need, and I thank the devs for putting that in there. The voice acting in the game is where things get a little bit funny, as they seem to have gone from a comedy slant, and at first this did really annoy me and really did start grinding my goats, but eventually the main voice actor did actually start putting a slight smile on my face with the slightly silly things he was saying. I mean, don't expect top level comedy here or lines that are built up well or reflective of personality. They really are just, oh, this is something a little bit silly each time. But this continued until one part of the game which I got a bit stuck on and had to start about 4 or 5 times. And watching the same cutscene over and over took me to the point where actually I just didn't want to listen to the voices anymore, just because not being able to skip that cutscene, it just made it unbearable for me having to watch it over and over and over and over again. And with a game where they expect you to restart levels and restart areas, a way of skipping dialogue would be very highly recommended to me. So in summary, the game is a simple layout, but does represent some sort of a challenge. So if you like a challenge and the graphics and poor voice acting are not an issue for you, I would say value for money, this game is worth a go. So enjoy the world. Oh, and welcome to What Grinds My Goats. Today is wasted development time, especially with indie developers, because I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, this game just really intensified it with the little bits of the rooms that are on the sides of it, and you really shouldn't bother with it because you have so much health to get through to this place that you don't have enough health to actually get through the whole thing anyway. So they're just adding parts on the game which they're not even really expecting you to enjoy. And if they are expecting you to enjoy it, I don't know how they expect you to enjoy it. They've obviously gone through their own game without actually trying to do the side bits, just going there, so you might as well just have them there, so they might as well do it. Let's get this completely separated up. We're not talking about mini games here. Things like Final Fantasy VIII with its card game, it was a slight separation from the actual main game itself. You could get a few drops and a few items through it, but it was such as a strong little side thing that it stood on its own, and it felt like it didn't take away from any of the game. What I'm talking about is games that add parts onto the game which don't seem to add anything majorly to the game. I mean, in some games you have ability trees and skill trees, and the skills are so over the top that's what you want to unlock, but you have to spend all this time looking at the abilities and the guns and things like that to craft it. I mean, if you look at something like Fallout 4, it was talking about crafting guns, but the crafting guns in that are just so pathetic and so rubbish that you just almost creating the same things around and around and around and around. Their mindset was just, oh well, we put in a crafting system, there's a crafting system, and the thought to it, well, they put more thought into it than they have before, because you can actually use parts from anything that you found, but in the end this just resulted into being able to have to hoard everything that you find, and it just becomes a game of moving back and forth while you're fully loaded up and dumping everything into one place so then you can build it. The game hasn't put any thought into it. They put no way of putting this unique. They've no thought about actually tying this back into the game other than just the scavenging part of it. And so many indie developers waste their times on these side little projects. They just add nothing to their games, and oh my god, it just completely grinds my gears.